Welcome to Super Wildcard Weekend. This is Calvin Dean, sponsored by TCDS LLC. Welcome, people. Wow. Wow, man. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. I can't believe it. It's Super Wildcard Weekend in the NFL. I mean, this is just so exciting. It's so exciting. I mean, wow. I mean, 6 games, 12 teams going at it. It's just, it doesn't get better than this. This is the first time this has ever happened, mind you, because before there were 2 teams sitting out like Green Bay and what Tennessee's doing, right? But there would be 2 teams sitting out. So there would have been the Kansas City Chiefs and the Tennessee Titans sitting out, and only 4 teams. But now there's 7, so it's kind of exciting. I'm just, and how did they all get here? You look at every single team, and they all have stories on how they got here. And it was like till the end of the season, the 2021 season, it was the 18th week that we knew, who was in the playoffs. But it was like the last game of 2021 when the Las Vegas Raiders hosted the Los Angeles Chargers, and they went into overtime. And that's when, the Raiders didn't seem, they were really, steadfast and, getting a force down there, just kept driving and handing the ball off, and then the coach for the Los Angeles Chargers calls a timeout. He's an analytic guy, the same guy who went for it in the first half, remember, on the 18-yard line, 4th and 2, and you're going to run it with Eckler. I'm sorry, 4th and 2. You have Hebert, one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He can run too. You're not going to drop him back and have him pass or even run and scramble and get to 2 yards. I didn't get that. I mean, for number one, it's such an important game, and it's just amazing that someone would go on their own 18-yard line. Their own 18-yard line. Wow. I mean, all these other coaches, it was now 8. Culley from Houston got fired today. And Flores, that was a big surprise. Wow. I couldn't, Miami fired Flores. Oh, wow. I just can't believe that. That was just, the winners last week was amazing. The games were just, wow. Overtime. Los Angeles and San Francisco 49ers. Nicky's Niners. Man, Jimmy G. Oh, man, with that, he has a fractured torn tendon in his right hand, throwing hand, and the guy just looked great. He's an Adonis. Playing like that, I'm telling you, they have a great team. They have a really, really great team. And, she wrote me, Nikki did. Nicky's Niners, Nikki, one of the people who watch this show, and my good friend, and I pay her. And, she wrote me, and she said all about, here it is, let me read this. This is pretty cool. Now, this is a San Francisco 49er fan, and a fan of the Calvin Dean Show. And she writes, oh my God, with a bunch of D's, Wow, that was a completely, for sure, the bestest game I've ever seen. And yes, you called it, sweetie. Mr. Amazing. Like I said, I pay her for this. Anyway, so she said, was so happy that Thomas got the interception that sealed it. He has had some bad luck, I think. It was his sweet redemption. So, I mean, she's definitely, into the Niners. She knows what this team is about, and she knows the defense, offense. Wow, pretty cool, huh? And, of course, I want them to win in the playoffs, but that game totally made the season, for me, a complete success. Wow. That right there, see, that's a 49er fan. She's, and then she wrote, I can't wait until I hear you review the game. And great, a great fan, football fan for sure, like last week was just amazing. Week 18, was just one of the best weeks I've ever seen, I mean, the Chiefs and the Broncos losing to the Chiefs 28-24. The Cowboys just all over the Eagles. Eagles didn't play many people, but still 51-26. Hello, Cowboys. Welcome. And the Lions beating the Packers. And the one game that was probably the most disappointing game of the whole weekend was the Indianapolis Colts game against the Jacksonville Jags. I mean, Indy lost 7 straight road games against Jacksonville. And I just thought that there's no way, the way the Colts have been playing, how good that team is, they would go into Jacksonville and lay an egg. 26-11. Shame on the Colts. Shame on the coaching staffs. Shame. And Washington football team beating the Giants. The Giants head coach being fired. Jags coach being fired. What else? Broncos being fired. A lot of firing. The Bears coach being fired. The Vikings beating the Bears at the end of the season. Wow, a lot of stuff. I mean, the Titans beating the Texans by 3 points. And then the Ravens. How about that Ravens-Steeler game? Wow. The Steelers winning, and the only way they could get in, if Indy loses to the Jacksonville Jags, okay, then they had an opening. And then it was, if the Raiders beat the Chargers, which they did, and then the Steelers would be in, or the Ravens, either or. So sad for the Ravens. The last few games, without Lamar Jackson, the team didn't look the same. Huntley's a good quarterback. I think that was a great audition for him. I think it was. The Bengals losing to the Browns 21-16. That's kind of concerning in a way. And I think the Bengals are better than that. That's for sure. But Burrows didn't play. And then we have the 49ers and the Rams in Los Angeles at SoFi Stadium. And what a game. Nikki's Niners, wow. I mean, I just was so amazed at that game. The Niners, Jimmy G, he just, with that last minute drive, how many yards was that drive? It was long. It was over 80 yards. And, to bring his team and to get a touchdown and, go in and tie the score. And then, in overtime, kicking the field goal, and then the Rams at the end of the game, getting the interception by Thomas, redemption on Nicky. And, what an exciting game. I mean, that game was one of the best games to watch. I mean, it was like the teams were really playing for all the marbles. And the same with the Steelers and Ravens, even though it was a low-scoring game, but it was still a great game to watch. If you're a football fan, that's for sure. And then, and then after Nikki's Niners, they win, they're in. That's the whole thing. So they're in automatically, right? So the Buccaneers over the Panthers, 41-17. And then my upset special was the Seattle Seahawks to beat the the Arizona Cardinals. That was my upset special of the week, last week. And now they've lost 4 out of 5 games, the Arizona Cardinals, coming into this game. Now, mind you, they'll have J.J. Watt this coming game, and but Connors is doubtful because of his ribs. And Andre Hopkins, he's, I don't even think he's going to be back even if they made it to the Super Bowl. I don't think so. I think he's way too hurt. And then the Dolphins beating the Patriots, right? And in Miami, and Belichick he can't win in Miami. It's just a terrible thing for him. And that, but that gave the Bills a chance to paint their own destiny. And they beat the Jets 27-10 in Buffalo to take the division over the Patriots. The Saints beat the Falcons, okay, which that was important because the Saints, if the 49ers lose, then the Saints would have went into the playoffs. The next game was, it was the last game of the season, the last game of the season. Okay, just the last game, and between this game was either they win or they end, and if they both tie at the end of the game, then they're both in. And the Steelers would not be in the playoffs. Wow. That's kind of cool. And guess what? It went into overtime at 32-32. And, it was getting down to 38 seconds left. And then the Chargers coach calls a timeout. I already went over the whole 18-yard on their own 18-yard line, 4th and 2. And they go for it. And what a stupid even running play. Embarrassment. Anyway, and then the Raiders got the first down, and Carlson's the guy's like he's like a Tucker. Guys, he's key. He's a key unit to that whole offense because you can count on your kicker like that. Wow, you got some good shit going on. Anyway, and then the best part about last week was getting to know that there was going to be 3 games from the NFC and 3 games from the ASC, to watch for Super Wildcard Weekend. It's exciting, guys. Exciting, you have to be very aware of the percentages of the NFC and the percentages of the AFC. What's going to the Super Bowl. Now they have power rankings, and what you need to know is all about those power rankings. And I'm going to go over those power rankings for you, so you can make an educated decision. Okay, the power rankings goes as follows. We have the Green Bay Packers. We have the top 4 of the NFC first. Okay, we have the Cardinals. Are ranked in the so you have the 4 teams, the top 4 teams in the NFC, the percentages. That's the power ranking of all the teams. And the Arizona Cardinals are ranked 4th at 10.7% chance to make it into the Super Bowl. The Dallas Cowboys are right above that and they're at 11.4%. Now, mind you, the Rams were like almost tied with Arizona. Like they were at 10.4. So they're really close. So these three teams that I just mentioned are very, very close. So like I said, the Dallas Cowboys have 11.4, the percentages to make it into the Super Bowl. And then it jumps up to 17.4 for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Wow. It's not that much of a difference. But the next jump is really a lot. The Green Bay Packers, 37.4% chance to make it into the Super Bowl. Wow. I mean, that's a huge jump between the Bucs and the Green Bay Packers. And then on the other side of the AFC is Cincinnati is at like 10.3% to make it to the Super Bowl. The Bills are at 22% to make it into the Super Bowl. The Tennessee Titans are 24% to make it into the Super Bowl. That's pretty close. 24. The Bills. What they're doing right now is they're saying, well, these two teams are pretty close in percentage-wise. And then, of course, the Kansas City Chiefs, they were at 30%. So this whole, they did an analysis of all the teams, how strong they are in certain positions, and they just go in there and they make the odds. These people that do this from Vegas are really good because they don't want to lose money. So, you just have to be aware of that, that's for sure. The next thing I wanted to talk about was injuries. Let's go over injuries before we do our picks. Very important. Injuries is very, very important here. Okay? So, I know that, Mr. Brown, he's gone. Yes, Antonio Brown is gone. Guys, Andy Dalton? Antonio Brown, where are you? That's terrible. That's terrible. Let's start with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Of course, Godwin, we all know he's out for the whole year. The Tampa Bay Bucs running back, Ronald Jones, he'll be out. Wide receiver, Cyril Grayson. Wow. Ooh, hamstring out. Ooh, that's not good. That's not good. But Scotty Miller, Perriman, Johnson, Evans, Gronk, Bray, Vaughn, and on and on and on and on. It's just Fournette, Leonard Fournette. So they still have some really great talent to throw to, and then they have the GOAT, right? Now, Jason Pierre-Paul will be back, and the edge rushers, they'll expect Shaquille Barrett. He'll be back. That's huge for this game because these guys are a running team, the Philadelphia Eagles. For the Arizona Cardinals, James Connors, he will be missed. Most likely, it's going to be a game time decision with him. Isaiah Simons missed practice throughout for personal reasons, I believe. That's what they're saying. Offensive lineman, Justin Pugh, calf. Cornerback, Antonio Hamilton, tooth. I'm sorry. Defensive lineman, Zach Allen, ankle, and he was limited in practice. Now, this is the Cincinnati Bengals have elevated defensive tackle Mike Daniels, and wide receiver Trent Taylor from the practice squad to the active roster for Saturday's game. So that tells you something. They're down, and you got to watch. Their right side is down, and that's where It's Crosby coming from the edge, man. I mean, sorry about that. My dog, I had to take her out. Yeah, I'm still disabled. I can't go out, so I'm doing everything at my house. So, excuse the incidences. I have to take care of things. Anyway, talk about being, an open book, right? Yeah. Anyway, let's finish this segment really quickly about the injuries. The Cowboys, Canu O'Neal, he has a chest elbow. He's ruled out for Sunday's game against the Niners. Defensive back Israel Makanumo was placed on the injured reserve. He's hurt. Kansas City Chiefs running back Edwards Clyde Hilaire, this is big. He's out for the Sunday game against the Steelers. And wide receiver Tyreek Hill, his heel, and Darnell Williams' toe are expected to be played, but barring any setbacks. So, I mean, Tyreek didn't do good last week. He was limping big time. So, I just, wow. And I know this is against the Pittsburgh Steelers, but, this makes it even tougher for Mahomes, one less superstar down. And that Darnell Williams is expected to play, but he has turf toe as well. So now we have the Los Angeles Rams wide receiver Van Jefferson shoulder. He was limited in practice on Friday after being in full participant on Thursday. So he's still feeling it. Outside linebacker Leonard Floyd's back was at full participant after missing Thursday's game, for Thursday's practice, excuse me. And while safety Taylor Rapp has a concussion, and they can't play, do not play list. So, and then the New England Patriots, the tackle Isaiah Wynn, hip, ankle, has been downgraded to out versus the Bills. So that's something. He's a pretty big force for the New England Patriots. That's for sure. The Philadelphia Eagles defensive end Josh Sweet, illness. Guard Nate Herbig, his ankle, are questionable for Sunday's game against the Buccaneers. Running back Miles Sanders' hand was his full participant this Friday, wasn't it? I mean, that's what I love about doing this on a Friday. I usually do all my shows on Thursday, and I miss a lot of stuff that happens on Friday. It's the final practice run through. Usually by Saturday, the teams are who's going to play and who is not. But if there's a game time decision, you wait until the Sunday morning. But anyway, I do like calling games at Thursday. It gives me some challenges. I love that. For the Pittsburgh Steelers, Najee Harris elbow is officially questionable versus the Chiefs. Questionable. Najee Harris is questionable, guys. As expected, Harris has been a full participant in Friday's practice after being absent all week long. Trust me, Najee Harris is going to play this game. Then we have the quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers, Jimmy G. Nicky's Niners, his thumb. The running back Elijah Mitchell, key, knee. Offensive tackle Trent Williams, elbow, log. Full practices for the first time this week, and do not carry designations into Sunday's game. So it looks like all three will be playing. Hooray! I mean, Trent Williams, he's huge. He's like a house. He is. Trent Williams is a house. He's that big, So wow, that's huge. That's huge to know that. And Elijah Mitchell, that'll be help their running game too. And Jimmy G looked all world He looked all world against the Rams. He really did. Congratulations to Jimmy G. I mean, he really showed his stuff, didn't he? I mean, he was hurt. He has a torn fracture in his hand, throwing hand, guys, throwing hand, and he beat the Rams, and he was masterful. I mean, hats off to Jimmy G from last week, that's for sure. All right. I know. It's that time. Yes, it is. What is that time? It's going to be picks, those winners and losers, and we're going to go over it right now. Super Wildcard Weekend. Oh, wow. Let's get to some picks, guys. I mean, this is exciting stuff. You know, the first game, you have 2 games on Saturday, 3 games on Sunday, and 1 game on Monday night. Ooh. And it's exciting. The first game we have the Las Vegas Raiders going into the Cincinnati Bengals. Wow. This is going to be a great game. It's going to be cold, too. I mean, the offense for the Raiders is 11th. The offense for the Bengals is 13th. The defense of the Raiders, all right, just amazing. 14. And the defense of the Cincinnati Bengals is 18. The passing for the Raiders are 6, and the passing for the Bengals is 7th. The rushing attack is 28th for the Raiders and 23rd for the Cincinnati. So this game is closer than everyone thinks. You know, there's a lot of analysis that, Cincinnati's going to win. Look at what the Raiders have been doing lately. They've been just winning ugly, but they've been winning. You know, Thanksgiving Day, right? Last week. Overtime victory against the Los Angeles Chargers. Over 56% of the people think that the Bengals are going to win this game. I mean, I think it's going to be a very, very close game. I think it's going to be closer than everyone thinks. The Bengals just have a lot of weapons. But, they do have that right tackle that it's going to be a second stringer coming in. And then they have to... he has to block Max Crosby of the Raiders. That might cause some problems for Mr. Burrows. They're a different animal. They just are. I think the Raiders are on a tear. They've been playing very, very well. Their defense has been playing well. They've been running the ball better. Carr, he's the 6th ranked in their whole offense passing in the NFL. 6th. That's why these teams are here in the playoffs, guys, are these stats that I'm giving you right now. And the Bengals are 7th. All I see in this game, I see that the only reason why I think that the Bengals might win this game is because of home field advantage. That's a pretty big edge. It's going to be cold. And the Raiders aren't really used to that. So check mark the Bengals on that one. And it's going to be at their home stadium. It's going to be loud. And it's going to be a good game. It's going to be closer than everyone thinks it's going to be. This game, I'm giving it to the Cincinnati Bengals over to Las Vegas Raiders in Cincinnati. And, me as a fan, if I was at the game, I'd probably be rooting for the Las Vegas Raiders. Yet I can't. I don't really have a team, a favorite team. But I'm just saying, if I was just not, giving it hoots or holler, and of course, the underdog. But I don't think the underdog's going to win this game. So sorry, Las Vegas fans. I love Raiders. Love the Raiders, guys. Love them. Saturday night. The Saturday night game in Buffalo. Buffalo right now is, they said by game time, it probably will be around 17 degrees or something like that, and it would be -4 wind chill factor. The winds won't be as bad as they were that one Monday night game that they played in Buffalo, but that's good, and it's going to be cold, and the Buffalo Bills are ready for it. They are. They're ready for it, and the New England Patriots are ready for it. Heck, look what happened the last time when they played in terrible weather. The New England Patriots just drove it down their throats. It's true. But what you have to understand, this game, once again, the stats in this game, the offense for the New England Patriots is ranked 15th. The offense for the Bills is ranked 5th in the National Football League. 5th. The defense of the New England Patriots, 4th. Wow. There you go. And the defense for the Bills, number 1. Number 1. The Buffalo Bills. Defense is number 1 in the NFL. And they're number 1 for a reason. And I'm going to tell you this, that the New England Patriots won't be running it down their throats this time. Because they ran it down their throats for the first 3 quarters. In the fourth quarter, the Bills' coaching staff woke up. Maybe they had some hot cocoa from the cold weather, and they woke up and they stopped them, but it was too late. It was just a terrible. The weather's not going to be that bad this time, but it's going to be cold. So the passing 9th for the Buffalo Bills and 14th for the New England Patriots. The rushing attack for the Patriots is 8th, but the Buffalo Bills 6th. Well, I mean, a lot of that is Allen, but Singletary's, they chose one back instead of a back cut by commission, and they chose Singletary. They've been doing good. He's been doing really, really good. Between this game, it's I looked at it hard and long, and this is going to be my best, my lock of the game this whole weekend. I'm going to give you the lock right now. This is the lock. I'm not picking the Tampa Bay Buccaneers over the Philadelphia Eagles and putting that as my lock. I'm taking this game and putting this as my lock game of the weekend. Would be the Buffalo Bills over the New England Patriots in Buffalo. That is my lock for the weekend of Super Bowl Wildcard Weekend. All right, let's get to it on Sunday. Now, this is talk about the Bucs. The Bucs are going into their home stadium and playing the Philadelphia Eagles, who somewhat limped into the playoffs. They're number 1 in rushing, the Eagles, and it has a large part with the quarterback. Hurts. He's good. He's really good. And and then you have Sanders, and they just pound the ball. Boston, they're grinders. And then they have Goddard, and they have Smith, the Heisman Trophy winner. So this is a dangerous team. Dangerous team. Their passing is 25th. That's where it kills you. Because when you're going to play the Bucs, you got 2 guys coming back on the front 7. You're not going to run it. I'm sorry. Maybe Jalen Hurts, I think he'll have maybe a couple good runs, but they'll box him in. Trust me. They're gonna put White on him, and it's gonna be different. You'll see. The offense for the Tampa Bay Bucs is number 2 in the NFL. Their defense is 13th, and the defense for the Philadelphia Eagles is 10th. That's the reason why these teams are in the playoffs. Listen to these percentages. Listen to where these teams are in the whole NFL. The passing on, that's the whole Eagles, 25th. Oh, yeah. And then the first place for the Bucs, Tom Brady, GOAT. Wow. 44 years old, still going. 20 years from now, he'll be 64, and he'll have his 30th championship, and they'll be going, "Oh, how the hell is he doing it?" And he looks the same. He hasn't aged. Really, seriously, look at Tom Brady for the last 20 years, and tell me if he's changed. I mean, the guy is an Adonis. He doesn't change. He just doesn't change. All right, so wow. This is, they're giving 18 points or something like that as spread. There's a large spread in this game. Their Bucs aren't going to lose this game. And it's going to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers over the Eagles in Tampa. And that'll be the morning game for the PCA, for the Pacific Coast. And then the 49ers are the next game. The 49ers go into Dallas and play the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas is a tough team. They scored 51 points, 51. They scored the last two games? They scored 100 some odd points. Wow. They're dynamic. They're dynamic, and the 49ers, Nicky's Niners are really good. Shanahan's brilliant at everything he does. Their offense is 7th. The 49ers and the Cowboys are number 1 offense. And they're the number 2 passing passing attack in the NFL, the Cowboys. But they're 19th in defense. That's their Achilles heel. It's their defense. And they're 3rd for the 49ers. The 49ers defense is 3rd in the NFL. Okay? It's going to be interesting. 3rd against 1st. It's going to be an exciting game. It's going to be a very exciting game. You have the 12th ranked passing attack for these 49ers, and of course, I just told you the Cowboys have the 2nd ranked passing attack, and the 7th ranked rushing for the Niners, and the 9th ranked rushing for the Dallas Cowboys. So, in all reality, if you really want to, look at things in a different way, this game is really pretty even when it comes to on paper. Now, mind you, when it's not on paper, then there's other things where you have to consider. And Dallas is 5-2 all time versus San Francisco in the postseason. So out of 7 games, San Francisco has won 2 of them. That's something to chew on. And another thing that you really have to think about is that the Dallas Cowboys, they haven't been in the playoffs in a long time. And San Francisco, Jimmy G, has been in the Super Bowl a few years ago. And Dak hasn't made it there. So this is an exciting game to look at. And this could be an upset special. I'm giving it to the San Francisco 49ers. I'm giving it to Nicky's Niners to beat the Dallas Cowboys in Dallas. I think they'll do it. I think the Niners have something there. I think their defense is going to be stout, and they're going to, get some turnovers. And Jimmy G's going to come through, and Shanahan's going to have a master mind, and Bosa's going to get a few sacks. And it's going to be one of those games. Unfortunately, the Cowboys will lose the first game of, it's been, 19 years or something like that? Wow. Now, the next game, which is the Sunday night game, and this is what we all waited for, this exciting game, the Pittsburgh Steelers against the Kansas City Chiefs in Kansas City. I guess this is the 18-point spread game. That's it. I think the The Tampa Bay was like an 8-point spread or something like that. But I think this is the 18-point spread. I don't know, man. This the offense for the Kansas City Chiefs is 3rd. Their defense is 27th. Their passing is 4th, and their rushing is 16th. The offense for the Pittsburgh Steelers 23rd. The defense 24th. The passing 15th, and their rushing is 29th. I mean, I don't know. What do you think? Come on, man. Really? I just don't see Ben winning this game. I don't think that the Kansas City Chiefs are going to lose this game. I'm sorry, Big Ben. You called me wrong last week, called me wrong the week before. Shame on me, but it won't happen again. And the Kansas City Chiefs will beat the Pittsburgh Steelers. Last but not least, Monday Night Football. Yes, Monday Night Football. We have the Arizona Cardinals going into SoFi Stadium and playing the Rams. This is going to be a great game. Great game. We have the Arizona Cardinals. They're 4-5 for the last 5 games. I even called their upset last week. I knew that Seattle would beat them 38-30. And the Rams' offense is 9th. The Cardinals is 8th. The 11th ranked defense for the Cardinals, 17th ranked defense for the Rams, the 10th ranked passing for the Cardinals, 5th ranked passing for the Rams, 10th ranked offensive rushing for the Arizona Cardinals, and the 25th for the Rams. They do have Cam Akers back. That's going to be interesting. He was back last week, but he's going to have I think he'll have a bigger, play this week. I think they'll pound. I think that's what it's going to be. I think the Rams are going to run. I really do. I think they're going to run and keep Kyler Murray off the field. I think that's going to be their plan. I really do. I think they're going to run with Sony Michel pounding the ball and Cam Akers getting him out in the open, having him run, making his moves that he's so great at. And then Cooper Kupp underneath. Maybe Odell, a couple big ones, but I don't think you'll see much of that. I think it's going to be a well-orchestrated Rams. I think they're going to really do well, and I'm giving this one to the Los Angeles Rams over the Arizona Cardinals. Wow, that's interesting. Wow, I mean, think about that one. So we have the whole entire Super Wildcard Weekend. And we'll go over it really quickly. I called the Bengals to beat the Raiders in Cincinnati, the Bills to beat the Patriots in Buffalo, the Buccaneers to beat the Eagles, and the San Francisco 49ers to upset the Dallas Cowboys. And also I gave the Buffalo Bills as my lock win of the week. And then I have the Chiefs over the Steelers. And the last but not least, the Monday Night Football game, I have the Los Angeles Rams over the Arizona Cardinals in a great game. It's going to be a great game, high scoring. It might not be that high scoring because I think the Rams are going to really try to run the ball. Might be like a 24-22, 24-21, something like that kind of game. Really close. It'll be close, but I think the Rams are going to come through and win this game. Okay, people. We'll see you next week. This is Calvin Dean with the Calvin Dean Show. Have a wonderful, wonderful Super Bowl Wildcard Weekend. Enjoy.